Sisi ni bibi na bwana. This swali inakuanga very interesting because the answer is there.
You do watch her on your screen.
Any day work.
Some people saying this is her real personality. Who exactly is Stella Uriru wa Wendo INooro TV and the law in my mother? As you watch, please don't forget to subscribe.
My name is Muthoni. I'm a Kenyan actress. I wear many hats. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a mother. I'm a sister, and I'm a daughter. I grew up in Thika. I went to school in Thika. Primary school, I went to Kameno Primary School. Kama unaijua niko sure, shout outs. I also went to secondary school. I went to Murang'a. I started with Murang'a and then I cleared in Thika. Murang'a, I was in a school called Gitweku Secondary School. In Thika, I went to Broadway High School. That's where I cleared. And I have a very long story about Broadway High School. And then now I'm in Daystar. I'm doing my degree in communication, that is advertising and PR.
How was life growing up?
Life growing up was very interesting. I grew up in a complete family, mother, father. Now, it was very, very interesting because I keep saying, I think I didn't grow up like a girl because I have 3 brothers, but the last born alizaliwa way later. So, tuli grow up tukiwa mimi and my 2 brothers. I think zile games mingi nilicheza zilikuwa za boys kama bano, football. Actually, in high school, I was a footballer. And it was very nice. Yes, we moved a bit, but it was very, very interesting. So many stories. When I was growing up, honestly, I think kila mtoto at times zetu, at some point I wanted to become a teacher. I think hiyo ni influence ya wazazi. And then at some point I wanted to become a doctor. At some point I wanted to become a nurse. Nilikuwa so confused. That is when I was in lower primary. Ilienda tu kama ina change. But in secondary school, that's when I discovered I love art. I remember I wrote a very nice poem. I remember in Form 1, tuliambiwa to create poem. And then I wrote a poem and na ika rhyme. And I remember my English teacher akanambia, I think you're very creative. So I grew, nikaendelea, nikaanza kuandika composition. I was actually the best, zile vitu unaandika composition inasomwa hapo mbele. English papers, I was very, very good. Then I was also an actor. I started acting in high school. Funny enough, I was not so much involved in drama like music. Unajua music za dramas, music za music festivals zilikuwa more of dancing and all that. But we used to have a very tight acting group ya class yetu with a few of my friends, akina Monica Muigo, Nyanya. So tulikuwa tuna perform Sunday church, tuna perform closing day. Tukaanza tu perform and it actually became very serious. But apparently I think I was the only one who alipeleka acting, further. And from there, I started realizing I actually love art. So I started saying I want to become a journalist. At some point, but then nimekumbuka story. Nimekumbuka nilikuwa nasema mimi sitaki kosa job. Nikimaliza tu hivi high school, nitaenda hapo nje NTV. Nation Media Group hapo nje niwaambie wanipatie job. Sasa hata sijaingia college. Hiyo ni high school dreams. Venye unafikirianga life ni rahisi. Nilikuwa najiambia nitaenda hapo Nation Media Group hapo nje niwaambie nataka kazi and I can do this, I can write, naweza andika newspapers. Alafu tukiagi na watu nawaambia, wakikataa nawaambia nitaanza na kufagia. Yeah, that's how much I wanted to be in the media. So when I cleared high school, I immediately started doing set books. Actually, I've never been jobless. Mimi nilimaliza leo high school, kesho nikaenda audition na nikapass. I started being an actor. I traveled. It was a traveling theater. So tuko tuna travel Kenya. Truly travel Kenya. Tulienda mpaka Garsen. Tulienda places mingi sana. And then me and someone, we decided to form our own group. I became an assistant director. I started marketing. We tukaingia coast. We did very big shows, and at some point nikajiuliza, so what next? Okay, of course hapa my partner is a director, so what next? TV. Hey. So venye nilidecide kwenda TV, of course I've always wanted to be on TV, and you have to start from somewhere. So again, mimi nilianza theater, so nikaenda TV. Nikaanza kuuliza, hii life juana na watu, anza kuuliza, by the way naweza anza aje TV. Mimi niko najua mimi nikichukuliwa naenda nikiwa main actor, that person mwenye anakujanga hapo anaambiwa huyu ndio, like picha yake iko hapo. So I went to nikaitwa, nikaambiwa, there's this show ilikuwa inaitwa Lies That Bind. It was on KTN. Nikaambiwa kuja by saa 2, ilikuwa inashutiwa Muthaiga. By saa 2 uko hapo, carry different clothes, usikari white, usikari black, usikari stripes, hizo instructions. So this is a very new thing to me. So nikafika, tulikuwa watu wengi, nashindwa watoto wanakuja kuact na mimi. So tukaanza, unasikia mnachukuliwa watano. So walikuwa wanachukua, unaona watu wanakuanga kwa restaurant, ukiwatch movie watu wako nyuma, wako huko nyuma, wanetangwa extras. So hiyo ndo kazi nilikuwa naenda kufanya. Mimi nilikuwa najua ulikuwa umeniambia. So watu wanakuja wanaitwa watano. Mimi sikuwa nimeitwa, nashindwa kwani watu wanachukua kina nani? So at some point nikakuja nikachukuliwa, nikaanza na nje kupita nini hizo vitu. And that is how I started my career. So from there, of course, nikaanza kujiona na director, alikuwa anaitwa Sibiu Barasa, nikaanza kujiona na actors. Na those are the people wanakwambianga your next project.
How much were you paid?
500 per day. Na zilikuwa zinakuja after sijui how many months. Yes, it was that serious. Sasa nasikianga watu wakisema, niliitwa sijui extra ya 2000, niko kai. Extra 2000. How did you even, tulifika hapa lini? So yeah, mimi nilianza na 500, na hiyo time by the way ilikuwa inanisort. Sasa ujue natoka Thika. So ebu count your fare nimebakisha nini. But I was so excited because again, this is something I loved doing. Mimi nilikuwa naona akiwa kiset camera na feel niko Hollywood. I was an extra for a while. But there's something my director aliniadvise. Akaniambia, don't think about yourself as an actor forever. You don't have to hang out with extras because again, mko na the same mentality. So that is how I started, unajiangalia unaona pana, I'm not an extra. Extra ni mpoa wa kwanza, but you can't be an extra forever. Huwezi lipa 500 per day forever. So nikaendelea tu hivyo. So nilikuwa naenda audition sana. He also advised me, akanambia, audition si lazima uende because you want to pass, go because you want to network. So I also met other actors, the same actors ndio wanakuambilia jobs zingine nini. So after some time, this same director Lies That Bind akani connect na my biggest first role. Nilikuwa naitwa Kathy. I was the show was called Santalal. Woo! It was on Citizen TV, and that's when I can say I was, naweza ambia watu mimi ni actor sasa. Unakuja mpaka Citizen TV is a big platform. So that's how I started.
How was the experience?
The experience was very good because I was also a writer. So I've never left my writing career. I still write even now. So I was a writer for the show as well. And it was a learning experience every single day. I learned so much, even as a producer, because now I'm producing. And I met so many actors. Blessing Lungaho was my boyfriend. And it was a very, very good experience. Passion will make you, become creative and start doing your own things. So passion is everything. Be interested. Job yoyote hata kama daktari, make sure you're very interested. Uriru, Wendo. Uriru, Wendo. Anamora take jukan. What? Acha nikwambie. By the way, imagine me siwezi imba. Naambianga watu I cannot sing. I do voiceovers a lot, but kuimba nayo ni tricky. So Uriru Uriru, how I got the role Uriru as Stella, I used to do a show called Tuikaranie. Tuikaranie ilikuwa Kameme TV. Tuikaranie was still remains as one of my best shows ever. It had a very good story. I enjoyed doing that show with Kina Veronica Washeke. That was a good show. So, ilikuwa, I was a very nasty girl. Unaona msichana, yule msichana ambilikangi. By the way, unaweza angalia kwa channel yangu Muthoni. I have a few episodes there. And I did it for a very long time. And then at some point I stopped. And then immediately when niliacha, I was approached by the director then wa Uriru Wendo. Akaniuliza kama najua show inaitwa Uriru, kama naweza penda kuact nini, akaniita audition. So I went to the audition and I passed and that's how I got the role, and I have really enjoyed doing Stella. Stella yani amegrow. Unaona wale watu wameanza kutoka, yani alikuwa mnasti, anafika mahali mpaka anatukana wazazi, anafika mahali anauza shamba ya mzazi, sasa anafika mahali mpaka anafikiria kuokoka. Stella has grown, a typical human being, as in si kila mtu anakuanga stagnant. You have to keep growing, and that is why I love the role Stella.
Yes. Do people confuse your personality now ya Stella and Muthoni?
A lot. Sometimes kuna mama nilipatana naye karibu anichape. Kwanza hiyo time nilikuwa natukananga baba yangu vibaya sana na mama yangu. Akaniuliza kwa nini natukana wazazi? Unajua si vizuri. She gave me a whole speech. Another thing, mimi hutembea na mamangu sana. So sometimes nikimit mtu na aniambie, wewe unaongelesha wazazi vibaya hivyo. Mamangu, my real mother, anakuanga pissed, anaambia mtu hapana, niweza reza. Yaani hata yeye ashaingia hiyo point ya kwa nini watu wanatake mtoto wangu ni Stella. So Stella is just a character. I remember one of my best scenes ilikuwa sometime nilikuwa nimesota. So unajua Stella ananga pesa. So nimesota. And the only person naezaomba do mwenye blood is everything. Blood is thicker than water. The only person naezaomba pesa ni brother yangu Steve. So ninapigia Steve. Na badala ni muombe pesa, the first thing ni kwanza kumuuliza. So if you watch the show, Steve anakuanga na akona bibi yake ni mzee kumliko. So ni kama yeye ndiye ameolewa. So the first thing ninamuuliza, Steve, uliacha kuwekwa? Yani mmefika mahali mpaka hata mpati watoto. Yani it was very nasty. Yani naongea vibaya. Alafu what Stella didn't know, but where as a view unajua, amenieka loudspeaker. So huyu bibi yake anasikia everything. And then imagine by the end of that conversation, bado namuomba 20,000. And guess what? Imagine alinipatia. My favorite scene on Uriru Wendo was, I think it was a whole season. So kuna mahali Stella alifika, akajua baba ya mwenye amemlea si babake real, si biological father. So akauliza mamake yako anamwambia, but yeye akafind out akajua babake ni nani. Guess what? Badala ya atry kubond na baba yake, anamwambia amgawie shamba. Yes. So apparently aliuliwangwa, my biological father aliuliwa kwa hiyo show. Na bado Stella aliuza shamba, but apparently akakoniwa. So that was a very interesting season for me. And ukiangalia siku hizi venye stories za shamba ziko, kuna shamba ufai kuuza, hivyo ndo musikia. Na kuna mahali huwezi fikisha mzazi, wewe ndo una lose. So Stella became a loser. Up to now, bado yeye anakuanga loser. But it was a very good season.
How does that make you feel as a person?
That was very sad, because kufikisha mahali unafikisha mzazi point kama hiyo, it should be a very good lesson to, unajua sisi watu wa young, like, so jitafutie vitu zako kwanza. Mzazi akitaka kukugawia, si that's okay, but jitafutie wewe mwenyewe. Wachana na mali ya mama yako na baba yako. Hao ndio walitafuta. Wewe tafuta zako juu ya watoto wako. Ama wewe unaweza taka ufike mahali ufikishe point kama hiyo wewe kama mzazi. Juu siku moja utakuwa mzazi.
Do men still pay?
Mainstream is not bad, of course it pays, huwezi fanya kazi ya bure, but musema just think about life your own way, usiende mahali uanze kufikiria kama watu wengine. Unaweza acting, unaona kama Uriru, we shoot once in 3 months, so hii time nyingine yote unafanya nini? Yes, watu wanakuwatch kwa TV throughout, but what are you doing? So ukisema una depend on acting fully, hata wewe surely, hata wenye wameandikwa 8 to 5, they still want to do other businesses. So just like any other business, please make sure you have income here and there. Another advantage kuwa mainstream, like I would say INooro TV, Citizen TV, mi zimenipatia platform poa, because there are places you'll go and you'll just get favor because people know you. So there's so many advantages. You can start your own YouTube channel, and because you're a brand, people know you, it will pick up well. So yeah, it pays.
Let's go to the digital world. Tunakuonanga pale hivyo you and Kenyash mkifanya ile show kali sana online.
Thank you.
Inaitwa The Law in My Mother.
Yes.
Are you two lovers?
Are we lovers? What do you think?
You tell us.
No, you tell me. What do you think? Unaonanga aje?
My audience want to know, and your followers wanataka kujua. Nyinyi wasee wawili, nyinyi ni bibi na bwana?
Sisi ni bibi na bwana. This one inakuanga very interesting because the answer is there. Trust me, it is there. Just look for it.
How can you describe the show?
The Law in My Mother is a family show. It's a show about a couple, two people who are in love, but they have so many problems, especially family. You know how in-laws coming to your love life now wana become a potholes. Your journey because my journey with Stella and Kenyash wanatakanga kuoana. Hawajaoana, wanaishi pamoja but hawajaoana. But hapa katikati kuna mother-in-law, kuna in-laws, kuna mama yangu, yani family inakuingilia mpaka unashindwa, okay, are we doing the right thing? Are we even in love? What are we doing? Nafika point mpaka Kenyash ajui kama atani accept. At some point pia mimi I give up. So it's a beautiful family show that has so many lessons to everyone, and our show targets everyone from kids, mothers, fathers, everyone. Yes.
Who does the scripting of this show?
Kenyash and I do everything. We do producing, we write the show, we cast. Yeah, sisi ni kaa Tyler Perry anasemanga writer, director, producer. Yeah, we do it.
How can you describe your partner, that is Kenyan in the show?
Kenyan is a very, very beautiful man. In terms of he wants to be a father, he wants to be a husband, but there's so many things that are making him doubt himself to a point yenye anakataa, because Stella has a child with another man, but inafika mahali anashindwa, okay, do I even want this woman? Do I even want this child? At some point everyone will say kwani Kenyash hapendi watoi, but Kenyash anapenda familia. But there's so many external factors zinafanya aji-question pia yeye as a man. So in short, relationship ni ngumu.
What are we expecting now from the show?
The Law in My Mother is a beautiful story that will always shock you. So you're not ready for what is about to come. But I also want you to guess. Hapo kwa comment, tuambie, because you never know. Maybe we're expecting twins. Maybe, you never know. But zile stories zina come. First of all, whatever you think might not be there. Mi hata sitaki kuambia. We watch to show. Yes. Tune in to Kenyash TV na Muthoni. So like I said before, I am a business person. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a taxpayer, a serious one. How I started doing business, but I've done business for a very long time. I've always loved business, and this is why. I grew up with parents who are doing business, especially my mom. Mamangu alikuwa anafanya makazi kama 10. I don't know how she did it, but mamangu alikuwa na kazi mob, and that's how I became a business person in my head. I've always loved business. I think there's a part of me that loves challenges, so I love solving problems, and that is biashara, solving a problem. So my first business, of course, it was in Thika. Like I said, I grew up in Thika. I used to supply DVDs. Unaona blank DVDs. But hizi biashara za movies bado ziko. Hizo biashara sasa wanatumianga DVDs mingi sana. I used to come to Nairobi nachukua boxes. That was before nilijua by the way unaweza weka kwa mat zikuje Thika na unalipa 100, instead of coming and going back. So nilikuwa na supply DVDs kwa wale watu walikuwa wanauza movies za Thika. That was my first business, which was very very funny. Juu sikuanga na mahali pa kukaa. Imagine niko na mabox na shindo nakaa wapi. Na watu wanashinda wakitisha. Nilikuwa the first mistake nilifanya. I hope your hoteli bado ina exist. Juu akisikia historia watajua huyu dem huyu. So nilikuwa naenda kwa hoteli fulani, ilikuwa inaitwa Pazuri. Na imagine nakaa hapo na sikunywi anything. Imagine nimeketi tu hivyo na ngoja order. Nikiitisha order nakimbiza DVDs. Nikiitisha order nakimbiza DVDs. Siku moja niliingia asubuhi nikapata poster ya No Idlers. Nikajua ni mimi. I don't even know how I survived. Sijui hata nilikuwa naipelekanga, but I survived in business and it was paying my bills. So the other one, nikaanza kuuza, I love fashion. Nikaanza kuuza nguo, viatu, so nilikuwa naendanga Gikomba very early in the morning, nachukua kiatu na 200 na kuja na kugonga na 25, kiatu noma. Of course nilikuwa na taste. So nikaifanya, again mi napendanga kugrow. Nikajiuliza, nitaenda Gikomba for how long? So I decided to take a risk. I decided to import my own clothes. I mean my own handbags and my own shoes. Before ni import, nilianza kuuza viatu za wanaume. Wacha nikwambie, si wanaume mnaweza fungia mtu biashara. Yaani mtu ananunua kiatu moja for 2 years. Kwani nikaona mimi I won't deal with men again. So that's when I decided to import my own handbags and shoes za madem. Alafu zikafika time poa, so zikafika time yenye ilikuwa time ya Valentine's. And I remember a very interesting story. Nilikuwa na viatu za red za nini, so nilikuwa natumianga watu my contacts, na watumia niko na viatu hapa, baia dem yako for Valentine. So of course watu walikuwa wanapenda red. Nakumbuka kuna mtu aliniitisha viatu pea 3 na mimi ndo na deliver. So napelekea wife yake, dem yake mwingine. So nikauza zikaisha. Nikashindwa na venye importation ina taking long. So my friend and I tukadecide wapi kwenda Uganda. Yes, tukachukua bus. Tukaenda Uganda. Musema nilimeenda Uganda for a day, Kampala. Imagine tulitoka jioni, tukafika asubuhi, tukaingia sokoni the whole day, tukaingia kwa bus tena jioni. Imagine, it was such an interesting journey, and we came back with the goodies, tukaziuza, and we made profit. From there, what else did I do? I think I've always done business here and there. So when COVID hit, I started selling water, but as a broker. As a broker, reselling. No, kwa mtu maji, alafu unauza where I live. Nikauza. Nikajiambia, wait, hii biashara ina make sense. So mimi huyo nikajipeleka Jibu Langata, and I decided I want to start selling water. So it's a long process. I'm sure I'll make a video about it and I'll explain how you can join Jibu. By the way, it's a very very good platform. And now I'm a Jibu water, supplier. Thika, watu wa Thika, please order maji. We refill from Monday to Monday. Yes, so that's what I do as a business person. One of my businesses. Yes.
How is business?
Business, there's a saying I say, business is very lonely. Biashara si rahisi, but it pays. That's what I say. As long as you know what you're doing, as long as you know where you're headed, as long as you're realistic, it's that simple. You just need to know, this is my goal, this is what I want to achieve, and you're good to go.
Let's go to motherhood.
Motherhood. I keep saying motherhood is an interesting journey. Hey, it is an interesting journey. Najua kila mtu kwa na journey yake, kila mtu kwa na story yake, but mine, of course, mine is different because it's me. I'm a different person. But for me, I would say it's interesting. Kuna days poor, kuna days, utalia, but the good days are so many.
How are you able to handle all these business, motherhood, your career in acting, and other things that we don't know?
So what people don't know is that since kitambo, I have never managed to do one thing. I have always been me I think nimefanya job mingi at the same time for the longest time. Actually, saa zenye niko na job moja na feelingi nikaa niko idle. So first of all, that's working for me, and it was a big transition, especially after motherhood. I remember kuna time nilikuwa nashindwa juu, nakumbuka nilikuwa na ball nikiwa shule. That is evening classes, and then it was during COVID, and then after that I gave birth, so I skipped a semester and then I went back immediately. I think nilirudi class nikiwa na sijui kind of nimepata mtoto after sijui like 2 months, but again ilinifavor because tulikuwa online, but it was so hard, even emotionally, physically uko hapo, but akili yako yote iko kwa mtoi. And I remember my mom akana nicall siku moja ananiuliza ati Kairo unaranyita kedo. So it wasn't easy. So kidogo, sometimes just be realistic with yourself. What can I handle? What can't I handle at this point? So as a mother, kuna zile vitu nilikuwa najua hii inaweza, hii siwezi, and also when you have good friends, you have supportive family, they will always help you. But how I manage, I am a very good time manager. I am very good in time management. Mi ni wale watu wanakuanga na to-do list. It works. Si to-do list tu ya jokes. The only to-do list I work na mimi ni a notebook. Kuandika written, mi huandika kwa simu kwa note yangu. So utaona Monday, I'm supposed to do this and this. So naendanga nikirab ama nikitik. And it works for me. Yeah.
There's someone who want to be like you. She or he want to be an actor. Unaweza mwambia nini?
First of all, make sure you want to be an actor. Make sure it's not something you've seen on TV. Make sure it's here. Ni wapi? Here. Make sure iko hapo. Because when you have that, hakuna mahali huwezi enda. And embrace auditions. Sana, sana, sana. Mi post auditions sana, sana kwa page yangu. Always go to an audition. Hata usipo fail, usipo pass, imagine you'll meet someone there who will give you your next job, ama who will tell you about your next job. Just have a positive attitude. But yes, acting is beautiful, especially if you love acting, and it can take you places.
That's one thing you can change first in the media industry, and also in the water refilling industry.
Okay, let me start with media. And when I say media is very, very big, but I won't even go very far. I'll start with you, the viewer. Let me tell you, sometimes blame wangu, tunaambiwa, nyi wasanii hata hamna do, ama wengine wanadhani nyi uko na do mnajifanya. There's always that argument ya mko na do, ama ukiniona kwa matatu unashindwa. Kwa nini kwa mat? Sometimes we struggle a lot. Media is tough. Media is very tough. But there's one thing I will encourage you as a viewer. And honestly, guys, you're trying. You're doing a very good job. But let's watch local content. Because let me tell you how the money comes in. Safaricom, for example, wanataka kuja advertise through the Law in My Mother ama Katrina the Traveler. But lazima Katrina the Traveler akuwe na views. Lazima akuwe na a very big movement. Watu wengi wanamwatch. How do you do that? Because you guys have to support us for us to get the money. Because for you to watch us, trust me, even those who pata do. So it's something yenye naweza kuambia hata local TV stations, just support local, and that is how the advertiser will trust us with their brand. Another thing I will say about the media industry is there's so many fake people. Just make sure you understand where you're going, especially auditions. Mtu asikwambia utoe pesa ya audition. Bado mi huambiwa hizo vitu. Oh, niliambiwa niende auditions sijui nitoe punch. Don't do that. Make sure you verify. Mi zile audition mu post, mi ukuwa sure hii nimetoa kwa Pitakawa, hii nimetoa hapa, hii nimetoa actors.co.ke. You see, just make sure you understand. Call. Ukifilu mtu ni mtriki, wachana yeye. Actually, kuna audition nimeenda kitambo sana nikianza kuact. And let me tell you, nilifika audition, ananiambia ati anataka ni audition part ya swimming pool. Like, hata sina lines, but anataka kuona venye nakaa nikivaa bikini. You see, that was a very funny person, and I walked out. So always, as much as you are desperate, understand ni nini unataka. Kuna vitu hata wewe mwenyewe unajua, I can't do this. Don't stoop that low. Yeah. When it comes to business, of course, me, I'll go back to the government. Easy tax. Bro. Ruto. Tukwe too serious. As it makes sense. Empower us first and then tax us.
Are you happy?
Yes, I'm very happy. But I'm in a very good space in my life, and I thank God. Every time I pray, I tell God, I pray for my peace, for my happiness, for my family. But happiness inakuanga kwa hiyo statement. Yes, and I am happy. There are bad days, but trust me, I am content. Mtu asema contented. I'm content.
Iyo.
Katerina the traveler. Katerina the traveler.